Okay, hello, greetings and welcome. All right, when you're doing any meditation technique, there'll be a certain measurement within yourself of success and failure within what you're doing. And that success and failure and how you measure it is caused by the level of static in your mind. Your mind is either going to have a high amount of static and the tendency will be towards failure, or the mind will be clear and the exercise will be easy. Now, the static that dictates success and failure in most meditation techniques is something that you should address right in the beginning of your spiritual practice. What we do in Hermetics to deal with the static is to simply observe it. When you observe something, you become aware of it. When you become aware of it, you intuitively understand how to manage it. So what's the first exercise? Watch your thoughts arise and fall away. As you're observing the thoughts, you recognize the thoughts themselves are a form of static. And those thought forms, that static, is sticking to your mind. So as you watch the thoughts arise, you watch them fall away, you get a sense of what the mental landscape is, you get a sense of the feeling of vacuity of the mental space, the stillness underneath the mental space. You get a contrast between the observing mind, what status is actually stuck to the observing mind, how it's attracting these thought forms, and the accumulation of stillness underneath that is neutralizing that static. This is why Franz Baden puts this exercise first. If you manage the static really well, the other exercises become easier. Now, in Tibetan Buddhism, they don't recommend this exercise too early because it's actually a very advanced exercise. It's not easy to watch your thoughts arise and fall away. Most people last a few seconds and they get caught in a thought. So what some systems of Buddhism do is they take a physical quality. So, let's watch the breath. We breathe in, we breathe out. It's a physical sensation, so it's easier to pay attention to the physical body and observe the breathing. So that's one method of making concentration quicker and faster. Another method is vital breathing. Now, if you put your willpower, your concentration of your mind onto your breath, and you put a gentle stretch and you put it into the ball, because your physical body has a state of fascia tension when you stretch, it forces your mind to hold. You're going through the breath and you put it into the life force. This activates a spirit sense. Your spirit is now concentrated outside the body. If you were to do this inside the body, what would happen? Your mind would become very, very small. It would be paying attention to your physiology, and body consciousness would result, not mental body training. You wouldn't be training your spirit. So your mind has to be outside the body. So when we take the willpower breath stretch into the ball, what happens? We're going outside the domain of our physiology and physical senses, and we're going into the feeling of vital energy, astral energy, and it's our mind which is accumulating power there. Now, as the mind accumulates concentration there, because we're putting a relaxed stretch and concentration of breath, life force is accumulating there. So as the mind and concentration accumulates in the ball, life force is accumulating in the ball. These two mix, and this is what activates your spirit sense. This concentration on life force animates our body, it animates our feeling, it animates the mind itself. It allows evolution to actually take place. The impetus for evolution is contained within the living mind, the living life force of the universe. When you condense life force and make that your first meditation object, your mind gets an intuitive sense of its own spiritual evolution immediately. So you intuitively start becoming sensitive to becoming your own teacher. And this is really important because your intuition is what guides you in every aspect of your life. What makes the choices that you choose in your life? For most people, it's emotional conditioning from TV, environment, parents, schooling. All our goals and desires are built by our environment. It's not built by your intelligence and intuition. You're just following out a template and you're sort of navigating with a little bit of freedom of will to this side and that side of the river, but you never get out of the river. So this connection to life force and the stimulation of your spirit senses in the living mind makes you intuitive to your own spiritual growth, to your own evolution. Because the nature of the universe is to evolve for the next generation. Everything keeps expanding. So by making life force your first meditation object, you're getting your spirit senses are waking up, you're getting a sensitivity to life force, you're getting a sensitivity to evolution and its nature of evolution, you're getting a sensitivity to what you do is not for you, it's for the next generation. So if you make a personal vow, as a teacher, I train for the benefit of my students. What happens? My unconscious mind aligns to the knowledge my students need, and if I have 1,000 students, I'll unconsciously align to a lot of knowledge. That means my growth rate will be exponential, just because I'm in resonance with the laws of nature. Now, if the opposite was true and it's all about me and superpower and I want to be able to do this and that, and I'm not aligning to the benefit of evolution anyone else other than my own ego, the energy will contain there and it'll be a very slow growth rate. I won't have an exponential growth rate. So any vows you make, if you're a healer and you go to medical school, you want to heal people and give them health. So if you dedicate your study to the benefit of people you're going to do healing on, unconsciously you'll attract information for who you're going to heal, and you'll have more answers when the questions come up when those patients walk into your clinic. So your unconscious mind has a certain level of release of time. It's predicting its future needs. So the information which comes to you now is what you will need later if you have a vow of working for the benefit of the next generation within the stream of knowledge that you have. Share your knowledge openly and develop it for other people's benefit. This is all a byproduct of making your first meditation object life force, stimulating spirit, stimulating your clairsentience to feel energy. You're stimulating an insight into your own evolution. You're stimulating insight into ethics and causation. How you think, how you feel, and how you act is generating a radiation of karma outwards and is affecting people. And you get a sensitivity to that effect. So you get mental ethics, the nature of cleaning your mind. You get emotional ethics, the nature of if I do this, people are going to feel that and their next generation is going to get this benefit. And physical behavior. What is the ethics of your own behavior? Your intuitive mind is functioning in resonance with the evolution of the group. So it seeks to develop and evolve spiritually, intellectually, emotionally, and physically for the next generation. And if you're in sync with that, in sync with life force, you get all those benefits. So this really is an ideal first meditation object and first training technique. It bridges you into nature magic. It bridges you into insight of how various metaphysical systems function. And it also allows you to see their strengths and their weaknesses, pay more attention to this than that. So you become your own teacher. And it's not to say that you know everything, but what it does say is your intuition allows you to pay more attention to things that have greater value within your spiritual development and pay less attention to things that have lesser value in your spiritual development. It makes you a master of your own destiny by making better choices. So, work on developing a strong awareness of vital energy outside your body, and the rest takes care of itself. Make this your basic platform. All right, thanks for your time, and see you on the next video.